Yes, sir.
Juror number 3, are you doing all right? Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Let us know. Mr. Moran?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Williams, before the break, we were talking about a robbery that you committed without the defendant, Mr. Adams and Mr. Russell.
Yes, sir.
On Foul Street. Do you recall that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to hand you some photographs. Again, have you identify them. For the record, these are both exhibits 155, 154, 185, 186, 187, 194, 195, 196, 197, 198, 199.
Moran, first one to start us off.
Mr. Williams, are all those photographs?
Yes, sir.
First one, Mr. Williams, the record is Local Exhibit number 155.
And then it goes to 186.
Yeah, it jumps around.
Can you give me those numbers again, please?
Yes, Your Honor. First one is 155, move to omit, which is a photograph of a house.
Any objection?
No.
We received.
154, which is a map. Any objection?
No. We received.
185, photograph inside a party store.
Thank you.
Any objection?
No.
186,
Thank you.
no objection.
No.
187,
None.
no objection. 188, any objection? Mr. Williams?
No.
194, move to omit.
No. I mean, no objection.
195,
No
move to omit.
objection.
196,
Without objection.
197,
Without.
98,
Without objection.
and 199. Any objection, Mr. Williams?
No, it's subject to them being shown to the witness. Right, people's proposed exhibits 154, 155, 185 through 188, and 194 through 199.
Thank you, Your Honor. Can you bring up number 155, please? Mr. Williams, this is the house we're talking about. Is this the house we're talking about on Foul Street?
Yes, sir.
You recognize that from being there with the man you took inside that door, is that right?
Yes, sir.
You told us in this house you got a television,
Yes,
you
sir.
got some ATM cards or credit cards, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And did you do the same thing you did in the other robberies where you tried to use those credit cards?
Yes, sir.
And who did that in this particular case?
Timothy Russell.
Could you bring up 185, please? Showing you People's Exhibit 185, sir. Do you see the person that's in that photograph?
Yes, sir.
And I'm pointing now to the gentleman walking in the door. Do you see that?
Yes, sir.
And who is that?
That's Timothy Russell.
How do you know that? You can't see his face.
Because of the shirt.
The shirt he's wearing?
Yes, sir.
You agree with me, won't you, sir, that 185 is dated May 11, 2015? All right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, bring up number 186. Recognize this photograph, sir?
Yes, sir.
And who is that there in the photograph?
Timothy Russell.
Again, how do you identify him?
Because of the shirt, sir.
Bring up photograph 188. Recognize this individual?
Yes, sir.
Who is it?
Timothy Russell.
194. This individual here, sir?
Yes, sir.
Who is that?
Timothy Russell.
195. This This one?
Timothy Russell.
197. This individual?
Yes, sir.
Who is it?
Timothy Russell.
196. Photograph from the ATM. Do you recognize this?
Yes, sir.
Who is it?
Timothy Russell.
Okay, and lastly, let's look at 199. This him leaving?
Yes, sir.
Again, is that Timothy Russell?
Yes, sir.
Now, you told us a moment ago that Timothy Russell was the one who was trying to crash the ATM or the credit cards from the victim on house on Fowle Street. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And the photographs I just showed you, are those photographs of him doing just that?
Yes, sir.
Was he wearing that red, white, and blue shirt during the robbery on Fowle Street?
No, sir.
Did he put that on to go to the ATM?
Yes, sir.
Did he take off what he was wearing?
Yes, sir.
Why? Do you know why he did that?
I can't know, sir. I can't remember.
Let's go to Asbury Park, May 8th, Elizabeth 520. Stop action. I'm going to direct your attention, sir, to a photograph on People's Exhibit 520, which indicates that on May 8th, 2015, a crime was committed at 12690 Asbury Park in the city of Detroit. Now, was this a walk-in robbery?
No, sir.
What kind of robbery was this?
Someone that was just sitting in front of their car. Just a regular robbery, sir.
Was this one that was planned or one that just happened to occur?
Just one that just happened.
Okay. So, who was involved in this robbery?
Me and Kevin, sir.
Okay, what happened?
As we saw a car that was sitting in the driveway, and we noticed it was someone that was in there, and it was agreed that we run up on the car and rob him, sir.
Was anyone else involved besides you and the defendant?
No, sir.
And is this near someone's house that you know in Asbury Park?
Yes, sir.
Whose house is this near?
Timothy Russell.
And what street was he living on at that time?
St. Mary's.
St. Mary's. Okay. So you and, if I understand your testimony, you and Mr. Smith are walking down the street.
Yes, sir.
You see some people sitting in the car.
Yes, sir.
And you decide to rob.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Crime of opportunity is what you told us, right?
Yes, sir.
And did you have a weapon with you at that time?
Yes, sir.
Did the defendant have a weapon?
No, sir.
What kind of weapon did you have?
40 caliber, sir.
And Mr. Smith had no weapon?
No, sir.
What did you do?
Ran up on the car.
Okay. And what happened?
Started taking items from the individual.
How many people are in the car?
2 people.
Are they men, woman, 2 men, 2 women?
A man and a woman.
Okay. What happens when you approach the car?
The girl hopped off the car and ran, and the man just started taking his items off, glasses and stuff off, and Kevin went chasing after her.
The defendant chased after the woman.
Yes, sir.
Did he bring the woman back to the car?
No, sir.
Okay. Did you know if he took anything from the woman?
Yes, sir.
What did he take from the woman?
A purse.
Anything else?
And I believe it was cash in her purse.
Okay. Did you take anything from the man?
Yes, sir.
What did you take?
Glasses.
What kind of glasses?
Cartier glasses.
Those are expensive glasses, aren't they? Cartiers?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Cartier glasses. What else?
A watch chain.
What kind of watch?
A Rolex.
You had a Rolex and Cartier glasses.
Yep.
Anything else?
Yes, a ring.
From the gentleman who took a ring?
Yes, sir.
And anything else?
A chain and $800.
So you got $800 in cash,
Yes,
Cartier
sir.
glasses, a Rolex, some jewelry,
Yes, sir.
a ring and a chain.
Yes, sir.
Did you take something else?
The car, sir.
You did the car.
Yes, sir.
And so you got the driver out of the car. Did you and the defendant get in the car?
Yes, sir.
Drive away.
Yes, sir.
What did you do with those items, the Rolex watch and the jewelry?
Pawned it, sir.
Who bought it for you?
Kevin Smith and my cousin Diego.
Was that was upon in close time to when the robbery took place? You know what I'm saying?
Can you be more
When did they pawn the items?
The next day.
Next day. So they pawn the items. They get some money for that?
Yes, sir.
How much?
Like $5,200, sir.
$5,200.
Yes, sir.
For the Cartiers, from the Rolex, the jewelry, that sort of thing, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You said in that case, the defendant did not have a weapon in that case.
No, sir.
Let's go to the last page. Top page. See the top of the page there, sir? People's Exhibit 520, which indicates that on May 20th, crime was committed at 8824 Ward Street in the city of Detroit. I'm sorry, May 16th. May 16th of 2015 on Ward Street.
Yes, sir.
Do you recall a crime happening there?
Yes, sir.
And was that a walk-in type robbery?
No, sir.
What kind of, what situation was this?
Just another regular robbery. People sitting in front of their home.
Was it a planned robbery?
Nope.
Did you participate in the robbery?
Yes, sir.
Who else participated in the robbery?
Kevin Smith.
Anybody else?
Yes, sir.
Who else?
Twine and Timothy Russell.
Who's Twan?
Some younger, our other friends.
Some other friend that was also involved in this particular robbery?
Yes, sir.
Say that name again, I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
What was the name?
Twine, as I know him as.
Twan. You know his last name?
No, sir.
Okay, you said Mr. Russell was also involved in this.
Yes, sir.
So what happened? First of all, is this in the middle of the night?
Yes, sir.
What happened?
We seen the car that was sitting in front of their home, in front of their house, and we noticed there was somebody in there. So me, Kevin, and Twine decided to rob.
And what kind of car was this?
A truck. I don't know what name of the car.
Okay. So did you and the defendant and this Twan person approach this truck?
Yes, sir.
Did you have any weapons with you at that time?
Yes, sir.
What kind of weapon did you have?
I had a 9 and
9mm handgun?
yes, sir. And
Did the defendant have a weapon?
yes, sir.
What did he have?
A 40, Glock 40.
A Glock 40 handgun.
Yes, sir.
40 caliber handgun?
Yes, sir.
And as you approached this truck, what happened?
They try to pull off. As I try to snatch the door open as they pull off. And a shot. I can't remember.
Okay, let's take this one step at a time. You approached the truck.
Yes, sir.
Did you produce your weapon?
Yes, sir.
Did you show it to the driver of the truck?
I ran on the passenger side of the truck.
Who was on the driver's side?
Kevin Smith.
Go ahead, what did you do?
I don't think he never really made it up to the car. I the only one went up to the car.
You approach the car, you pull out your gun.
Yes, sir.
He's making his way up to the driver's side.
Yes, sir.
What happens?
They tried to pull off.
The people inside the truck tried to pull away.
Yep.
Okay, what did you do when they tried to pull away?
Shot.
Okay, did you shoot your gun?
Yes, sir.
And why did you shoot your gun?
Because they didn't corroborate.
They didn't cooperate with you.
Yes, sir.
So you fired because they didn't cooperate with you.
Yes, sir.
What about the defendant? Did he fire as well?
Yes, sir.
Are you firing as the truck is driving away because they refuse to cooperate?
Yes, sir.
Does the defendant fire?
Yes, sir.
Do you fire?
Yes, sir.
How many times did you fire?
5 times, sir.
You know how many times the defendant fired?
No, it was a lot.
What happened to the truck? Did it drive away?
Yes, sir.
Did you hit the truck when you shot it?
Yes, sir.
Did you see where the truck went?
Nope.
After you fired at the truck because they refused to cooperate, what'd you do then?
I took off running.
What about the defendant?
He was still shooting.
Did you ever talk to the defendant about that robbery after it took place?
I talked to him.
What'd you talk about?
Hopefully ain't nobody get hurt.
After you shot, you were hoping they didn't kill anybody.
Yes, sir.
All right. Did you get anything from that robbery?
No, sir.
Because they drove away.
Yes, sir.
Now the gun you had, you said you had a 9mm and the defendant had a 40 caliber.
Yes, sir.
Who was that? His 40 caliber?
Kevin Smith. Yes, sir.
What about whose gun was that 9mm?
Mine, sir.
Okay. And what did you end up doing with that 9mm?
I let a friend see it.
Okay. Who did you let see it?
Alan.
Okay. You know Alan's last name?
No, sir.
Okay. And when did you let Alan see that gun?
I can't remember, sir.
Okay. Was it before you got arrested, the end of May?
Yes, sir.
So you gave Alan your gun, that 9mm, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you ever get it back from Alan?
No, sir.
Okay. Did you later learn that Alan got arrested with that gun?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The gun you used along with the defendant on Ward Street back on May 16th, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Go back. Now I want to take you to March 5th. I want to take you to March 5th of 2015, sir. Do you recognize this house on Oak Drive?
Yes, I recognize it, sir.
Is this a house that you and some other individuals were going to rob?
Yes, sir.
Was this a planned robbery or one of convenience?
Just, yeah, a convenient, just a regular robbery. Me, no.
Go ahead.
Excuse me. It was a regular robbery, but it was normally a walk-in robbery.
It was going to be a walk-in robbery?
Yes, sir.
Was it one that you've been planning for a while, or one that just happened?
One that just happened.
Who were you with right before that robbery took place?
Don Diego Adams, Timothy Russell, and Kevin Smith.
What kind of car are you in?
An Impala.
Okay. Whose car is that?
That's Diego's girlfriend car.
Can you describe what kind of car that is?
It's gray, sir.
It's gray.
Yep.
It's a gray.
Impala.
Two doors or four doors?
4-door.
A gray four-door car that belongs to Adams' girlfriend.
Yes, sir.
Who's driving the car?
Don Diego.
Okay. Are you in the car?
Yes, sir.
Is the defendant Kevin Smith in the car?
Yes, sir.
What about Mr. Russell? Is he in the car?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what are you doing in that car right before the robbery?
Riding around and looking
For what?
to rob somebody.
The four of you are riding around looking to rob as part of that plan to rob people, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you happen to be driving in the area of 18905 Oak Drive that evening?
Yes, sir.
And describe the weather that day.
It was cold, snow on the ground.
As you're driving in that area, do you see someone that might be a potential target for a robbery?
Yes, sir.
Where do you first see that person?
Talk to somebody in the minivan, sir.
Was that the person that you saw, white or black?
White.
Man or woman?
Man.
And he's talking to someone in a minivan, you said?
Yes, sir.
Could you tell who he was talking to in a minivan?
No, sir.
Was he on the street talking to someone in the minivan?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And is that the first time you saw that person?
Yes, sir.
When you saw that person, was there discussion about robbing that person who was talking to someone in a minivan?
Yes, sir.
And what did you guys do after you saw that person?
Hurry up, and me and Kevin got out the car.
Okay, did the car stop?
Yes.
Did Don Diego Adams park the car?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And who got out of the car?
Me and Kevin.
Did you have a weapon?
Yes, sir.
What kind of weapon did you have?
38.
Did the defendant, Kevin Smith, have a weapon?
Yes, sir.
What kind of weapon did he have that evening?
45, sir.
Now, whose 45 was that?
That was my 45, sir.
Why did he have it?
Because he wanted to trade guns.
And did he give you a gun?
Yes, sir.
And you said you had a 38?
Yes, sir.
Was that his gun?
Yes, sir.
So he's got your gun, you've got his gun.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You got out of the car.
Yes, sir.
Were you in the front seat or back seat?
Back seat.
Was he in the front seat or back seat?
Front seat.
He's the passenger in the front?
Yes, sir.
You're the passenger, the driver's side passenger in the rear.
Yes, sir.
Is Mr. Russell sitting in the back seat?
Yes, sir.
Now, was this going to be a walk-in robbery?
Yes, sir.
Does that mean you're going to take that guy you saw talking to the person in the minivan and walk him into his house and rob him?
Yes, sir.
Did the plan include other people coming in the house after you?
Yes, sir.
Who else was going to come in after you secured the house?
Timothy Russell and Don Diego.
So the four of you were going to rob the occupants of that house?
Yes, sir.
That was the plan?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The car's parked?
Yes, sir.
You and the defendant get out of the car, right?
Yes, sir.
Where do you go when you get out of the car?
We walked.
What's that, the guy you're going to rob, what's that individual doing after talking to the person in the minivan?
He pitting his trash up, sir.
Okay.
And it's how the house set up on the corner. It's like it's hard for me to explain. And
Yeah, we're going to bring up a map. Would you bring up the map? That's what I'm- Bring up two. Can you see?
I need a better map than that. I can.
Well, we'll walk you through this, okay? If this is Oak Drive here, sir. See Oak Drive?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm showing, for the record, I'm showing the witness People's Exhibit number 2.
Yes.
If this is Oak Drive here, and this is Florida Street, which is the side street.
Okay.
This is the person's house that you're going to rob.
Okay.
18905, right?
Yep.
You with me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the person you saw after talking to the person in the minivan is putting their trash away.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You and Kevin get out of the car. What do you do?
While the victim was going back to his house, we get ready to go up to the front porch, and me and Kevin approached him behind.
Okay. The victim is walking up to his front porch.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you and Kevin approach him from behind?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you walk up behind him.
Yes, sir.
What happens as you're walking up behind the victim?
We ran up on behind him, and Kevin got up close to him and tried to get him to go into the house. He refused, sir.
So the defendant gets up close to him.
Yes, sir.
And where are you at that point?
Standing and watching the surroundings.
Mr. Williams, I'm going to bring up a diagram. Yeah, that's fine. If this is open. Mr. Williams, this is Oak Drive here. This is Clarita on the side street.
Okay.
And this is 18905 Oak Drive. You with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you recognize this? The sidewalk, and this would be the walkway?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is this the walkway that you followed the man up to his front porch?
As he coming, we walking slow, and if he turns his back, we walking.
I cannot hear you, sir.
I'm sorry. As the victim walked up to his porch, me and Kevin cut the grass and ran up on him behind, and I stayed right there.
So I want you to. This is a laser pointer, sir.
Yes, sir.
And you push the little red button right there.
I can't do all
Okay.
that.
All right. Where are you? Are you in this area here?
Yes, a little more up, sir.
A little more up here.
Yes, sir.
Are you in this area?
Yes, sir.
Where is Kevin?
He up on the porch with the.
Yes, Sam. Okay.
He.
I'm sorry. On People's Exhibit 337A, I'm describing the area on the walkway just north of the lined tree. Landscape tree. This is the proximate area where you were, sir?
Yes, sir.
You said Mr. Smith was up on the porch with the victim?
Yes, sir.
Okay. As the defendant goes up on the porch with the victim, what happens?
He tried to get him to go in the house, I believe. And
Could you hear what the defendant is saying to the person?
I can't really remember.
Okay. The plan was to go in the house and rob him, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the defendant approaches the victim on the porch.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what happens?
He tried to get him to go in the house, I believe, and the victim refused, and then that's when he shot him.
When you say he, who do you mean?
Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith tried to get the victim to let him in his house.
Yes, sir.
The victim refused.
Yep.
And that's when he got shot.
Yes, sir.
And did you see the defendant shoot the victim?
Yes, sir.
Where were you? You still by the tree?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And did the defendant have your .45 when he fired?
Yes, sir.
Did you see him shoot?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the shot?
Yes, sir.
What happens after the defendant shot the victim, the man on the porch?
Took off running, sir.
You and the defendant?
Yes, sir.
What happens to the victim?
He fell on the ground. He fell on the ground and he was screaming, help, help.
Give me help. And did you and the defendant run?
Yes, sir.
Where'd you run to?
To my cousin's car, Diego Adams.
And did you get in the car?
Yes, sir.
Did you go to the driver's side or the passenger side?
I went to the back side, in the back seat.
Back seat?
Yes, sir.
Where did the defendant go?
In the front seat, sir.
And when you got to the car, did you drive away?
Yes, sir.
Did the defendant say anything about what happened on the porch?
No, I can't remember it.
What about, did you have a conversation about the man asking for help?
We was laughing about this.
Who was laughing?
All of us, as I can remember, yes.
You were laughing?
Yes, sir.
About the man asking for help?
Yep.
Now, as you're running to the car,
yes, sir.
Does someone come out of the house?
Yes, sir.
Is that a man or a woman?
A woman.
A white lady or a black lady?
I don't know if it was white, but...
So, a woman comes out. Does she say or do anything when she comes out of the house?
Yes, sir. She said motherfuckers.
Okay. You say it calm like that?
No, sir.
How did you say it?
She yelled it out.
She yelled out, motherfuckers?
Yep.
Loud?
Yes, sir.
And who do you think she was talking to?
I believe it was me and Kevin.
Did you stop and go back and address her?
No, sir.
You kept running to the car?
Yes, sir.
You got in the car?
Yes, sir.
And you drove away?
Yes, sir.
You said you were laughing about the guy asking for help?
Yes, sir.
It's funny to you?
Yes.
After you left Oak Drive, where did you go?
To Allen House.
Is that the same guy you gave the gun to? Allen?
Yes, sir.
From the Ward shooting, right?
Yes, sir.
And at some point at Allen's house, or thereafter, did you learn that the person that Mr. Smith shot, was a judge?
Yes, sir.
How'd you learn that?
Because that was the night I was up all night and I couldn't go to sleep, and something just told me to turn to the news, and it said something about somebody getting shot, and it looked like that was the victim Kevin had shot.
And did the address of Oak Drive come on TV?
Yes, sir.
Did you and Kevin or Tim Russell or Don Diego Adams talk about the fact that you just shot a judge on that night?
Yes, sir.
What'd you talk about?
It was about the judge getting shot and how I can't remember word from word, but we was talking about like how we gotta lay low because it's gonna be like hot around that neighborhood.
What about that .45 caliber gun that the defendant used to shoot the judge? What happened to that?
Kevin traded it off.
To who?
To a guy named Man-Man.
To a guy named Man-Man?
No.
Do you know Man-Man's real name?
No, sir.
When Kevin traded off the .45 for to Man-Man, did he get another gun in exchange?
Yes, sir.
What kind of gun did you get?
A 9.
A 9mm?
Yes, sir.
You know what kind of gun that 9 was?
Yes, sir.
What kind was it?
A Ruger.
A Ruger. Okay. Did you have a picture of that on your phone?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Can I approach again, Your Honor?
Yes.
501. Mr. Williams, I'm handing you People's Proposed Exhibit number 501. Do you recognize that?
Yes, sir.
What is it?
A 9, sir.
Is that the Ruger you're talking about?
Yes, sir.
The 9mm Ruger that the defendant got in exchange for the .45 caliber that he used to shoot Judge Berg with? Yes?
Yes, sir.
This is a picture on your phone, right?
Yes, sir.
Move to admit 501, Your Honor.
Any objection?
Without.
Will be admitted.
Did you ever discuss with the defendant or anyone else the fact that you can't talk about this because there was a reward?
Yes, sir.
And was in agreement to that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, after you pled guilty, you agreed to tell the police the truth about what happened on Oak Drive and some other robberies too, right?
Yes, sir.
And did you do that right away?
Yes. No.
I'm sorry?
No, sir.
Did you tell the truth right away whenever the police talked to you about your involvement in these crimes?
No, sir.
What'd you tell them?
I told them that on the night of Oak Drive shooting, I told him that Timothy Russell was the one that got out.
With the defendant?
Yes, sir.
And did you tell him you stayed in the car?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that wasn't true, was it?
No, sir.
It was a lie.
Yes, sir.
So you lied to the police to protect yourself.
Yes, sir.
At some point in time, did you tell the police what really happened?
Yes, sir.
Why? Why?
Because if I wanted to start the healing of forgiving myself and getting forgiveness from the victims, I was gonna have to start by telling the truth.
And is it the truth that you got out of the car?
Yes, sir.
Is it the truth that Kevin is the one who shot?
Yes, sir.
Now, in addition to telling them about your involvement in these walk-in robberies and the 2 car robberies, were there some business robberies you talked about as well, sir?
Yes, sir.
You want to talk about a robbery in January at a Family Dollar? Do you recall that?
Yes, sir.
520, page 1. People Exhibit 520, the first page. I'm going to direct your attention, Mr. Williams, to January 23rd, 2015. Does this look familiar to you, sir?
Yes, sir.
And what is it?
Family Dollars.
Okay. And did you and someone else rob that Family Dollar on January 23rd, 2015?
Yes, sir.
Who did you go to rob that store with?
Kevin Smith.
And did you have a gun?
No, sir.
Did the defendant have a gun, Kevin Smith?
Yes, sir.
What kind of gun did he have?
A 9.
And during the course of that robbery, was that gun shot?
Yes, sir.
Who shot the gun?
Kevin Smith.
Can he tell you why he shot the gun?
At the point, at that time, I know why he shot the gun.
Why?
Because somebody that was in the store wasn't complying with what he was saying, sir.
So just like Ward Street, just like Oak Drive, when the Family Dollar robbery happened, someone didn't comply and he shot the gun, right?
Yes, sir.
Did you get anything from that robbery?
Yes, sir.
What'd you get?
As I believe, like $100-some.
Let's go to the last page of 520. I'm going to draw your attention, sir, to the last page of People's Exhibit 520, which is a jewelry store located on Gratiot, 27453 Gratiot. I think it's in the city of Roseville. On May 20th, 2015. Do you recognize that store, sir?
Yes, sir.
And what do you know about that store?
That was the jewelry store that we planned to rob.
You say we, who are you talking about?
Kevin Smith, Timothy Russell, Don Diego, and Allen.
And did you in fact go to that store to rob it?
Yes, sir.
Whose idea was that to rob that jewelry store?
That was my idea, sir.
And where'd you come up with the idea to rob a jewelry store?
I came up with the idea because I thought it was better to rob a jewelry store than rob people, individuals, and take them to their home. And if we was to get caught, it'd be better.
So you thought it would be good to rob a jewelry store to make more money?
Yes, sir.
And so it was your plan to rob that jewelry store?
Yes, sir.
And did you in fact go to the jewelry store and rob it?
Yes, sir.
What was the plan?
The plan was to get the owner to cooperate, and what Kevin and Allen was to get them to cooperate, and that's when me and Tim would come in and like wipe everything down and take all the jewelry and stuff like that.
And did you all ride in the same car together?
No, sir.
How many cars did you take?
2.
Whose car were you in?
I was in my car, sir.
And who was with you?
Timothy.
Timothy Russell.
Yes, sir.
And who was in the other car?
Kevin, Allen, and Diego.
Who was driving that car?
Don Diego.
Okay. And did you go to the location?
What?
Did you drive out to Gratiot?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you have a plan to listen in to the robbery the way it took place?
Yes, sir.
Tell me about that.
While Kevin and Allen was to enter the jewelry store, we was on the phone while Kevin had his phone in his pocket, and me and Tim would listen and see what was going on, so we'd know what time to come in.
So you're three-waying the robber
Yes, sir.
on the cell phone.
Yes, sir.
And while you're in the car, and you said you're in the car with Timothy, right?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Russell.
Yes, sir.
You can hear what's going on inside the jewelry store?
I can't hear exact, but yes, sir.
In general, you can hear what's going on.
Yes, sir.
And Kevin got a new phone after the Asbury Park robbery, right, in May?
Asbury Park.
After you got the $5,000?
I believe so, yes, sir.
You know if that's the phone he was using that day?
I can't remember it being over.
So, Kevin, Smith, and Alan go into the store.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you ever go into the store?
I never made it, nope.
Why not?
Because by the time I can get to the door, get there, things didn't go as planned. So Kevin and Alan, they already had took off running, and it was just all bad. So me and Tim never made it into the store.
Did you get out of your car?
Yes, sir.
Did you go up to the store?
Yes, sir.
Did you go inside the store?
No, sir.
Did you talk to anyone when you go up to the store?
Yes, sir.
Describe the person you saw.
It was, I believe he was white. He had blood coming all down his face and stuff like that. And we was like, me and Tim was like, who did it like as we was trying to help him, so he wouldn't notice we had something to do with the robbery that just took place.
So you played off like you were there to help him?
Yes, sir.
Just a normal customer?
Yes, sir.
Did the man with the blood on his head tell you what happened?
No, sir.
Okay. Did you get back in your car and leave?
Yes, sir.
So you never went inside to wipe down?
No, sir.
Did you get anything from that robbery?
Yes, sir.
What'd you get?
A handful of jewelry.
And what happened to that jewelry?
Me and Alan pawned the jewelry.
How much money did you get for pawning the jewelry?
$2,300.
And which day did you pawn the jewelry?
Later on that day, sir.
I'm going to approach you, sir, and hand you some. I'm sorry, Mr. McCoy.
Excuse me.
First, I'm going to hand you People's Proposed Exhibit number 214. Let's take a look at that, sir. What is that?
The jewelry store?
Of the jewelry store that is your plan to rob?
Yes, sir.
The one on Gratiot?
Yes, sir.
Is that a fair depiction of how the jewelry store looked that day? Looks like a jewelry store, doesn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, move to amend 214, Your Honor.
Any objections? No. 214 will be received.
So this is the jewelry store that you never went into, right?
Yes, sir.
Just the defendant and Alan, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Handing you People's Proposed Exhibits 393, 394, and 392. Which are photographs. Take a look at all three, please. Are those photographs, sir?
Yes, sir.
You recognize the individual in the photograph?
Yes, sir.
Who is it?
Kevin Smith.
Move to omit 392, 3, and 4.
Any objections? Could you say those numbers again?
392, 393, 394.
Thank you. No objection. Will
393,
be received.
392. You recognize that person?
Yes, sir.
Person holding the gun on the other side of the counter?
Yes, sir.
On exhibit 392. Who's this?
Kevin Smith.
The defendant.
Yes, sir.
You see him holding the gun?
Yes, sir.
That's inside that jewelry store, right?
Yes, sir.
393. You recognize this person here I'm pointing to in 393?
Yes, sir.
Who is it?
Kevin Smith, sir.
You know this person here that's crouching behind the counter?
I don't know him personally, but
Go ahead.
yes, sir.
Is this the guy you saw outside with the bleeding head?
Yes, sir.
And what's it? Do you see what's in Mr. Smith's hand?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
Gun, sir.
Is that the .40 caliber with the laser pointer?
Yes, sir.
That's the gun he had that day in Roseville when he was robbing the jewelry store.
Yes, sir.
Next one. And who's this on 394?
Kevin Smith.
That's inside. Is that inside the jewelry store?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You indicated to us that that same day, the jewelry that you took in the robbery,
Yes.
you and you said who went with you to pawn it?
Alan and Denicia.
Okay. You went to a pawn shop, is that right?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to hand you what's marked as People's Proposed Exhibit 397. Does that appear to be a pawn slip dated May 20th of 2015?
Yes, sir.
Does it have Don Diego Adams' name on it?
Yes, sir.
And what's the amount that was...
No. This is not Don Diego Adams, sir.
What name's on it?
That's Alan, sir.
I'm sorry, Alan. I'm sorry. And was he involved in that?
Yes, sir.
Was he involved in pawning?
Yes.
On May 20th?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what's the amount that was received?
$2,300, sir.
Thank you.
And is this the jewelry that was robbed by the defendant from the Roseville jewelry store in Gratiot?
Yes, sir. I believe. Yes, sir.
We'll give that 397.
Without. 397 will be received.
Now, a couple days later, you were arrested, right?
Yes, sir.
Where were you when you were arrested?
In front of my mama's apartment, sir.
And police searched your residence, right?
Yes, sir.
And got some items off your house, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to hand you what's been marked as People's Proposed Exhibit 349, 475, 476, 346. Through with those, sir? Have you had a chance to forward those proposed exhibits, sir?
Yes, sir.
Let's start with 346. Was that a photograph of a jacket that was in your house?
Yes, sir.
I'll move to amendment for 346.
Any objection? No.
Bring it up, please. Is this the... Can you zoom in on it? Is this the polo jacket that we talked about earlier that Mr. Russell was wearing at an ATM after the Mansfield robbery?
Yes, sir.
$475. Is that another picture of the same jacket?
Yes, sir.
Move to admit $475.
Any objection? That was 475.
$475.
We identify it for the purpose of identification and foundation where they came from.
This is from your house?
I believe I can't tell by the picture.
You believe those from his house?
Subject to the search warrant.
Yes. Move to
Any
admit.
objection? No. Will be received.
476. Recognize that?
No, I do not recognize.
Okay. How about 349? Recognize that?
What is this? Just a bunch of...
That's fine. If you don't recognize it, we'll move on. Okay.
Did not recognize
Did not
349.
Do you go by a nickname, sir?
Yes, sir.
What nickname do you go by?
No.
Nunu?
Yes, sir.
And if someone were to know you or see you in the street, would they refer to you as Nunu?
Yes, sir.
Would the defendant refer to you as Nunu?
Yes, sir.
And would your cousin Don Diego Adams and Alan and Timothy Russell refer to you as Nunu?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. That's all I have.
please? Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes,
Will you
sir.
pull that microphone a little bit closer so I can hear you?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Your name is Robert Williams, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You're also known as Nunu.
Yes, sir.
And isn't it true that you were childhood friends with Mr. Smith, Kevin Smith here, since maybe age 7 or 8?
10, sir. Yes, sir.
Maybe 10.
Yeah.
Okay. And so it's been a long time friendship, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you mentioned that you are related somehow to either one or more of the other alleged perpetrators in this matter. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And Don Diego Adams, that's your blood cousin?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And as a matter of fact, anytime he was away for a little while, wherever he was, you went to visit him, didn't you?
He came to visit me.
Okay. He came to visit you. I understand what you're talking about. And he did that out of friendship and your relationship of being related with you. Isn't that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And the fact of the matter is, you're a stick-up man, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you never admitted you were a stick-up man until the time came that you were going to make a decision about testifying against Kevin Smith. Isn't that true?
That's correct, sir.
Okay. And you were represented by an attorney, were you not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, as a matter of fact, that attorney is seated in the courtroom right now wearing the brown suit and or tie. The gentleman, the African-American gentleman seated over here, isn't that correct?
That's correct,
Would
sir.
that be Mr. Ronnie Strong?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And during the time that he represented you, you were from time to time asked how you pled. That means advising the court you stood in terms of charges that were brought against you.
Yes.
Didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and as a matter of fact, you said you were not guilty. Isn't that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And sometime thereafter, you changed your plea from not guilty to guilty. Isn't that correct?
Yes, sir.
And prior to pleading guilty, you were seen and interrogated by police officers, were you not?
To say that again, sir?
Yes. Prior to acknowledging responsibility and changing your plea from not guilty to guilty, you've been interviewed or interrogated by police officers or officers sometimes known as FBI agents. Isn't that true?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you were seen and talked to over a period of hours, were you not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And to the best of your knowledge, those hours were in fact recorded, were they not?
Yes, sir.
And you know as well as I do that having anyone who saw those and seen you during those periods and hours of interrogation would know and be able to see that you were not telling the truth during those interrogations. Isn't that correct?
That's correct, sir.
Okay. And you knew that they were police officers or special agents of the FBI?
Yes, sir.
And you denied any participation in what it is that we've been talking about here in these events. Isn't that correct?
In the beginning, yes, sir.
Okay, well, when you say the beginning, you mean before you had been represented by Mr. Ronnie Strong and made a decision based upon negotiations that he was having with the prosecutor's office. Isn't that true?
That's correct, sir.
Okay. And so before that, once again, all the times that you were talking to the police or authorities before that, and I mean before you entered and made a decision to take take a plea under special circumstances, you had in fact been denying your involvement or anyone else's that you knew of involvement in anything. Isn't that correct?
That's correct, sir.
And part of the interrogation that you had with the authorities was that you were advised that it could help you if you came clean and told the truth. Isn't that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you knew that at some point in time that not only did they want you to tell the truth about what you had done, but they also wanted you to implicate, that means involve other persons. Isn't that correct?
They wanted me to tell the truth, sir.
They wanted you to tell the truth about other persons allegedly true. Isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
And that included Don Diego Adams?
Yes, sir.
And it included Alan Corbin?
Timothy Russ, yes, sir.
Okay, and Timothy Russell?
Yes, sir.
And Don Diego Adams?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Who was your cousin, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And they also wanted you to implicate, and they were strongly interested in implicating Kevin Smith. Isn't that true?
When you say implicate,
That means involve Kevin Smith in the events that they were accusing you of participating in.
I'm going to object to the form of the question. One of the question implies that they were wanting to implicate one person.
Is that what you're saying?
No.
Okay, why don't you rephrase this?
I will.
Thank you.
Besides the authorities wanting you to implicate yourself, do you know what the word implicate yourself means?
I don't know what the word implicate
That
I
means
use.
to admit that you were involved.
Yes.
Okay.
To tell on yourself.
To tell upon yourself. They also wanted you to tell upon Kevin Smith. Isn't that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you finally got the message after a while that Kevin Smith seems like they're the real target who they wanted. Isn't that true?
That's correct, sir.
That's correct. And at a point in time, then being represented by Mr. Ronnie Strong, you then, on advice and suggestions and negotiations, all three of those things, you then moved your position from acknowledging that you were not responsible, pleading not guilty, to being guilty. Isn't that correct?
Can you read?
Yes, sir. I'm sure you did change your story.
Yes, sir.
Right. And before that, you were claiming that you were telling the truth and not involved. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
And all of a sudden, now you're saying you were involved.
Yes, sir.
And in order to do that, you had to have some kind of benefit. Isn't that correct?
That's correct, sir.
That benefit was dropping charges against you, dismissals of charges against you, and two other favorable things, which included a favorable sentence agreement and favorable placement in terms of where you would go in a place of safety if you were confined. Isn't that true?
That's correct, sir.
And that's what got you to change your story, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
That motivated you, didn't it?
Yes, sir.
And from that motivation, instead of saying, I don't know anything about this, Kevin was involved, Don Diego wasn't involved, Alan was involved, Timothy was involved, Kevin was involved, and you were involved, now you involve everybody. Isn't that correct?
Yes, sir.
And what you were offered was a 3 to what? As far as a sentence agreement.
Oh,
I beg your pardon. I'll ask him directly what was your acknowledged sentence agreement as far as time to be served?
Time that I got served?
Time that you were to be served.
5 to 20 years in prison, sir.
Pardon me?
5 to 20 years in prison.
5 to 20. I beg your pardon. I misspoke when I said 3. It's 5 to 20. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
5 years to 20 years? Is that what you mean and how to interpret that?
Yes, sir.
All right. And that would be under the confinement of federal authorities and sometimes known as what's called the Secret Witness Protection Program. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And did that absolve you of any, not only state charges and also federal charges?
Can you be more specific when you're not?
The FBI was involved in that plea agreement too, were they not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you know you're not going to be charged with any federal crime, isn't that correct?
Yes, sir.
So that certainly gave you reason now to start saying things about Kevin, Don Diego. Isn't that correct?
That's part of it.
Okay, that's part of it. Okay. But the most part and most important part is that in order to get that plea bargain, you had to give up certain things. Isn't that correct?
I had to tell the truth. Yes, sir.
Yes. And you acknowledge that you are a liar, and before that you were not telling the truth to the authorities.
An instant answer, please.
All right, Judge.
Go on, please.
Thank you. Now, your nickname is Nunu, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Who in the group were you intimately involved with? Were you intimately involved with the person that we now know as Denicia Russell?
I wasn't involved with her, but as I don't know, man.
You want to approach for just a second, please?
Yes, Judge. Okay, sir. I'm back asking you a few questions, all right?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Now, in your conversation and testimony today with Mr. Moran, you know he is a Wayne County prosecutor, do you not?
Yes, sir.
And he asked you a lot of questions, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And maybe some of those questions you didn't quite understand, did you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But one thing for sure, anything he asked you, and on a number of occasions during his almost 2 hours of questioning, your answer was, yes, sir. Isn't that correct?
Yes, sir.
And when he asked you questions about your involvement, on many occasions, or a lot of occasions in your testimony today, your answer was yes, sir. Isn't that correct?
Yes, sir.
And when it came to involving Mr. Smith or Don Diego Adams, your answers were yes, sir.
Yes,
when
sir.
he suggested some wrongdoing on their part. Isn't that
Yes,
correct?
sir.
Now, specifically with regard to the case that involved the judge, do you know what I'm talking about, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The persons in that car, at least one of them was you, isn't that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you had a position in that car, did you not?
Yes, sir.
That means where you were seated.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that was a particular car, was it not?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
you were there, and you know about that car, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you know that that car was Don Diego's, your cousin's girlfriend's car, isn't that true?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you know something special about that car, do you not? Okay, let me suggest this to you. It was a four-door car, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
And you know that it had 4 doors, 2 in the front and 2 in the back. Is
Yes,
that
sir.
correct?
Yes, sir.
And you know that the door behind the driver's seat, which would be the passenger side in the back behind the driver, that door was broken, wasn't it?
It wasn't that door.
It wasn't that door?
No, sir.
Well, what door was it if there was a passenger
It was
door?
the one on the passenger side.
Was the one on the passenger side. So if anybody came to jump in that car at all, they could not jump into the passenger side, rear passenger side. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And if you were in fact involved in the matter on Oak Street in Detroit, you ran to the vehicle, did you not?
Yes, sir.
And you got into the front seat, isn't that correct?
No, sir.
You got into the back seat?
Yes, sir.
And you got into the back driver's side seat?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so, if any other person was with you, they got into the front seat of the vehicle, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and it would have been very easy to see who got into what side of the car because of the lighting or the light conditions there?
I don't know.
Okay, but for sure, you know you got into the passenger side of the vehicle.
On the driver's side, sir.
On the driver's side, you got into the driver's side.
Sir,
Thank you very much for making sure that I know that. And another person who got in the car got into the front seat. Is that correct?
Yep, but the passenger side.
Correct. Okay. You're quite sure of that.
Yes, sir.
And you know that Don Diego, your cousin, was driving.
Yes, sir.
Matter of fact, at some point in time, you said that some female was driving the car, didn't you?
No, sir.
Who did you say had been driving that car?
Don Diego, sir.
Did you ever say that it wasn't Don Diego driving the car?
Not as I can remember, sir.
Okay. Isn't it true, sir, you said that Mr. Timothy Russell was driving the car?
No, sir.
Isn't it true that you might have said that Denise Russell was driving that car?
No, sir.
Not at all.
Not at all.
All right. Let's talk about these guns, okay? You
Yes,
know
sir.
about guns, do you not?
Yeah, I know about him.
You fired guns before,
Yes, sir.
okay? And you fired guns in these instances, didn't you?
One.
Pardon me?
And one, okay, and one.
Which case? Was that the case of the car that pulled off?
Yes, sir.
And you drilled that car, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Pardon me?
Shot 5 times, yes, sir.
Right. And you put guns in old people's faces, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
And you tied people up, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
And you ransacked their houses, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
And you went to pawn shops, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
And you went to jewelry stores. You went to a jewelry store, didn't you, on Graduate
Yes, sir.
Roseville?
Yeah.
You were ready to participate in that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you also went to the dollar store, did you not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you went to a lot of those houses and met people in their driveway. Isn't that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you claim that there was some kind of agreement. Isn't that correct?
To walk people in their house, yes, sir.
Agreement. You know what an agreement is?
When you come together as one?
That's right. You have a conversation. Okay. When do you claim that there was conversation with anyone who's in this room on trial for this case about an agreement to do stuff?
Where it took place?
Yeah.
That's what you at my mama's apartment.
I see. And you don't claim that Kevin Smith participated in all of the events that you totally participated in, did it?
There was a few he didn't participate
A
in.
few.
Yeah.
A few. How about none? Wouldn't that be closer to the truth and be exactly the truth?
That's incorrect. No, that's not
Isn't it true that you were trying to pawn all of these events off onto Kevin Smith to try and divert them from friends or relatives of you, such as Don Diego and other persons?
It's not correct, sir.
Mayor, you all right?
Sure.
You know anything about an event that allegedly happened in Ypsilanti, Michigan?
No, sir.
Pardon me?
No, sir.
Nothing.
I can't remember, sir.
You didn't participate any alone or with someone else in an event in Ypsilanti, Michigan?
Not
Was
that I
reported in the newspaper?
Not that I can recall.
If there were times in which, for whatever reason that I'm going to ask you about, that was not, that you claimed that Kevin Smith wasn't present, what was that about in terms of the alleged conspiracy? If there was this group meeting and group participation, these things were on your own, weren't they?
Like,
Independent of whatever.
Wait, I'm gonna let him answer the question. He started and it's cut off.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Well, I think the question's a little unclear. I mean, which events are you talking about? Rephrase the question.
I will. There are events that you claim or admit that you and someone else besides Kevin Smith did by yourself and alone. Isn't that true?
yes, sir.
Okay. And there was no participation by all of the persons of the conspiracy or the agreement in those events. Isn't that correct?
Yes, that's correct, sir.
And those were certainly not part of, and there were events, criminal events, that the persons allegedly of this agreement weren't part of. Isn't that correct?
Can you be more specific?
Yes, sir. If there was an original agreement, there were people who, during the possible course of the agreement, just went off on their own, that included you, and did it all by themselves. Isn't that correct?
Still not getting it.
You don't understand that, do you?
No, I do not, sir.
You are an acknowledged liar, aren't you, sir?
This is that's an answer, John.
I think it's argumentative, but I think we've been over this as well. I'll sustain your judgment.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, 10 minutes, please.
All rise.
You may be seated.
So when I finish, I can get that.